Someone you know built a second income and you completely missed it. Maybe a friend, maybe a sibling, maybe a former coworker you reconnected with after a few years. They didn't announce it. They didn't post about it. There was no big reveal. But somewhere in the gap between the last time you really paid attention and now, they quietly built something. And the signs were there the whole time. You just didn't know what you were looking at. There's a specific pattern that shows up when someone builds a second income in the background of their life. It's consistent, it's recognizable, and once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Most people assume that building a second income is loud, that you'd notice if someone you knew was doing it. The opposite is true. The people doing it best are like the quietest about it. The loud ones, the people constantly posting about their hustle, are usually the ones making the least. The quiet ones are the ones who actually built something. There's an inverse relationship between how much someone talks about their side income and how much they actually earn from it. The biggest earners are often the ones you'd never suspect. The loudest hustlers are often the ones still struggling. My name is Nick and I spend way too much time thinking about money. Side income psychology, and why the people who quietly build second incomes are almost always invisible until they've already succeeded. If you've ever looked at someone in your life and thought, wait, when did they figure all this out? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it ends up helping you spot the pattern in your own circle. According to Bankrate's 2025 survey, around 27% of American adults have some form of side income, but the ones who built a real, durable second income, not just an occasional gig, are a smaller and quieter group. The Bureau of Labor Statistics counted 9.3 million Americans working multiple jobs in late 2025, highest ever recorded since they began tracking it in 1994. But those are just the ones with formal second jobs. The people who built a real second income through a business or freelance practice often don't even show up in that number. They have one W-2 and one quiet enterprise. And that's exactly why they're so easy to miss. They don't fit the statistical categories cleanly. They look like regular employees on paper while quietly running something substantial on the side. These are the people this video is about, the ones who built something while you weren't looking. Let me show you the 13 signs. The first cluster of signs is about changes you notice when you reconnect with someone after time apart. This is honestly the most common way people discover that someone they know built a second income. You don't watch it happen day by day. You see the before and after, with the building phase invisible in between. The first sign is they got noticeably calmer about money since you last spent real time with them. The financial anxiety that used to color their conversations is just gone. They used to mention being stressed about bills, about rent, about a big upcoming expense. Now, they don't. Not because they got a raise, because they built a second stream you didn't see happen. The change is striking when you notice it. The same person who used to tense up at the mention of an unexpected cost now just shrugs it off. The shift in their baseline stress level is the first thing you register, even before you understand why. The second sign is their reference points changed. They used to talk about money in terms of their salary and their expenses. Now they casually mention things like clients, or customers, or a busy season. Those words don't belong to an employee's vocabulary. They belong to someone running something. The vocabulary shift is, one of the clearest tells when you reconnect with someone. Listen for the small words. An employee says, my paycheck. A person with a second income says, my clients, or my customers, or my orders. The language gives away the structure underneath. The third sign is, they stopped complaining about their job, but they didn't quit it either. The job that used to be a source of stress is now just a thing they do. Neutral. Almost irrelevant to them emotionally. That neutrality is strange until you understand it. The job stopped mattering as much because it's no longer their only source of income. They've got something else now. You'd expect someone who hates their job to either complain about it or leave it. The person who's neither complaining nor leaving has usually found a third option. A second income that makes the job tolerable because it's no longer the whole picture. The fourth sign is they have time they didn't used to have, or they're busier in a way that's hard to explain. One of two patterns shows up. Either they seem to have more freedom, more flexibility, more control over their schedule, or they seem busier than ever, but in a good way, energized rather than drained. Both point to a second income they built for sign Z. Now the financial signals that show up even when they're not flaunting anything, The fifth sign is they upgraded something significant without the usual financial drama. A house, a car, a major life expense. And they did it without the visible stress. Most people show you expected them to agonize over the decision the way most people do. They didn't, because their financial picture had quietly changed in a way you weren't tracking. The absence of drama is the tell. Most people telegraph major financial decisions for months. They research obsessively, they worry out loud, they go back and forth. The person with a quiet second income just makes the move. And when you ask how they pulled it off, they're vague. They don't walk you through the math the way someone stretching their budget would. They just did it, and they'd rather not get into the details of how. The sixth sign is they became weirdly knowledgeable about money topics they never used to discuss. Taxes, business structures, deductions, cash flow, pricing. That knowledge doesn't come from reading articles. It comes from running something that forces you to learn it. The fluency is like earned, not studied. You can tell the difference between someone who read about quarterly taxes and someone who actually pays them. The second person speaks about it with a specificity that only comes from lived experience. The seventh sign is they stopped caring about discounts and deals the way they used to. The person who used to hunt for every coupon now just buys what they need. Not because they got rich, because the mental energy they used to spend protecting a fixed salary is now better spent elsewhere. Their relationship with small expenses changed. When your income is fixed, every dollar saved matters, because you can't easily make more. When you have a growing second income, your attention shifts from saving pennies to earning more. It's a completely different mental model. This shift in where someone spends their mental energy is honestly one of the most fundamental changes a second income produces. The scarcity mindset of a fixed salary slowly gives way to the abundance mindset of someone who can create income on demand. That's 7. Let's get into the behavioral cluster. These next signs are about how someone's daily patterns shift once they have a second income running. They're subtler than the financial signs, but once you notice them, they're hard to unsee, and they tend to show up together, reinforcing each other. The 8th sign is they got harder to schedule, but not because of their job. Their availability changed in ways that don't match a normal 9 to 5. They are busy on a random Tuesday evening. They block off Sunday mornings. They mention deadlines that have nothing to do with their employer. Their calendar has commitments you can't account for. The 9th sign is they developed new skills that don't match their job description. The accountant who learned web design, the teacher who got good at video editing, the nurse who understands marketing now. People don't randomly develop skills outside their profession for no reason. They develop them because a second income required them. The skill is, evidence of the enterprise behind it. These cross-domain skills are a giveaway because they're so specific. Nobody learns payment processing or search optimization as a hobby. Those are like skills you acquire because money depends on them. The 10th sign is they started speaking more carefully about what they do. When you ask about work, they give a slightly vague answer. A practiced answer, one that's technically true but doesn't tell you everything. That careful vagueness is one of the most reliable signs. People with a quiet second income learn to deflect because full disclosure invites complications they'd rather avoid. The deflection is smooth because they've done it many times. They have a stock answer ready. It satisfies the question without revealing the full picture. That polish itself is, a tell. The 11th sign is their network changed. They know different people now. They mention names you don't recognize in contexts you can't place. Business contacts, collaborators, customers. An employee's network is mostly their coworkers. A person with a second income has a whole separate web of relationships connected to the thing they built. That second network is invisible to you until it slips out in conversation. That's 11. The last cluster is about identity, and these two are the deepest signs of all. The 12th sign is their confidence changed in a specific way. Not arrogance, not bravado. A quiet, grounded confidence that wasn't there before. It's the confidence of someone who knows they could survive losing their job. Someone who has proof that they can generate money independently. That kind of confidence can't be faked and it can't be bought. It can only be earned by actually doing it. You can feel this confidence more than you can see it. It shows up as a relaxed quality in how they handle stress, how they make decisions, how they carry themselves in uncertain situations. They've removed the fear that most people carry their whole lives. The 13th sign is the deepest. The way they talk about the future changed. They used to talk about their future in terms of their career, promotions, job changes, climbing a ladder. Now they talk about it in terms of what they're building, growth, scaling, where the thing they made could go. The frame shifted from employee planning a career to owner building an asset. That shift in how someone imagines their own future is the single most reliable sign of all, because it reveals how they see themselves now, and how someone sees themselves drives everything they do next. But here's the part most people completely miss, and it might be the most important point in this entire video. The reason you didn't see it happen is that building a second income is almost entirely invisible from the outside while it's happening. The early stage of a second income produces almost no visible signals. There's no new car, no big announcement, no lifestyle change. Just someone quietly spending their evenings and weekends building something for months, sometimes years. The only evidence is time spent that you can't see and money earned that they don't mention. The whole process happens in private. Think about what the building phase actually looks like from the outside. Someone sitting at their laptop at night, someone taking a few extra calls, someone spending a Saturday on a project. None of that registers as building a second income. It just looks like a normal, busy life. By the time the signs become visible, the building phase is already over. You don't catch people building a second income. You catch them after they've already built it. That's why it always feels like it happened suddenly. From your perspective, it did. You weren't there for the quiet hundreds of hours. You only see the result. It's like watching bamboo grow. For years, it seems like nothing is happening underground. Then it shoots up so fast it looks instant. The second income works the same way. Invisible roots, then sudden visible growth. And here's the deeper thing. This reveals the people who build second incomes successfully tend to do it in deliberate silence. Not because they're secretive by nature, because they learned that announcing a project before it works invites doubt, advice, and pressure that makes the building harder. They learned that the people around them, even well-meaning ones, tend to discourage early-stage efforts. So they stop sharing. They just built, and they let the results speak years later, if at all. This is a critical lesson, hiding inside these 13 signs. The quiet approach isn't just a personality trait. It's often the correct strategy. The loud approach, announcing your hustle, posting your goals, telling everyone your plans, tends to generate social pressure and early judgment that kills momentum. The quiet approach, building privately and revealing nothing until it works, protects the fragile early stage from the doubt that destroys most attempts. There's even research on this. Studies on goal announcement have found that telling people about your goals can create a premature sense of completion, which reduces the drive to actually follow through. Announcing feels like progress, even when nothing happened. So the people you didn't notice building a second income weren't just lucky to escape your attention. Many of them chose invisibility on purpose, because invisibility in the early stage is protective. Look, the goal of this video isn't to make you suspicious of everyone in your life. That would be exhausting and weird. The goal is to show you that the people who built second incomes around you weren't fundamentally different from you. They just started quietly and kept going while you weren't watching. The difference between them and you, if there is one, isn't talent or luck or some special advantage. It's that they started, stayed quiet, and didn't stop. That's the whole formula. It's almost insultingly simple. And the deeper question is whether you could be the person that other people don't notice building something. Whether you could start quietly, build privately, and let the signs show up in your life years from now. You don't need to announce anything. You don't need anyone's permission or encouragement. You don't need to make any dramatic, visible move. You just need to start building one income source outside your job. Quietly, privately, the way the people on this list did. And here's the encouraging part. The invisibility that hid their building phase from you is the same invisibility that will protect yours. Nobody will notice you starting. Nobody will judge your early stumbles. You get to build in private until you're ready. That privacy is a gift, not a limitation. Use it. Build the thing nobody knows about yet. Let the results be the announcement years from now, if you choose to announce at all. You're not behind for not having noticed these signs in others before. The whole point is that they're hard to see. Most people miss them their entire lives. And you're not behind for not having built a second income yet either. The people who have learned ahead of you in some fundamental way, they just started a quiet process. You can start too. The math doesn't care whether anyone notices you building. It only cares whether you build. The quietest path is often the most effective one. Your future self, the one other people will eventually fail to notice, built something, is counting on the quiet work you start this year. Trust me, they'll thank you for building in silence, long before anyone else realizes what you did.